Alright people, we're heading out. Farmers Museum in Cooperstown, New York, the main building here. We're going to take a look on the right out here as we get here. We're going to see a little oddity that's pretty neat up here. Look at this stone guy. This is the Cardiff Giant. Big hoax back in the late 1800s. They got him with his mask on here. He's 10 feet, 4.5 inches tall, weighed 2,990 pounds, so 1.5 tons. 6 million people have paid to see him. David Harum was his godfather. P.T. Barnum offered $15,000 for the giant. This is the most single valuable exhibit in the world today. It says in 1869 here, folks, the Cardiff Giant was unearthed by some men laboring in a small upstate New York village. Was this the petrified remains of an extinct race, or a sculpted work of an ancient civilization, or something else entirely? The Cardiff Giant, the figure came to be known as, was the subject of heated debate and sensational news stories for months. The giant captivated the 19th century American public and entertained 20th century audiences. Today, the Cardiff Giant is recognized as the significant piece of Americana. From his big fat feet all the way up to his big fat head. Masked face, of course. Gotta behave yourself. So here's a picture over here of him when they dug him up in 1948. This is where they installed him here at the Farmers Museum. Controversy, the main event over here unearthed when they buried him, and then they found him about a year or two later. 1869, workmen digging a well in Cardiff, New York, unearthed the giant fossilized man. They ran to alert the owner of the farm, William Stubb Newell, thinking they had discovered the remains of an ancient race. News of the discovery spread quickly. Newspapers, magazines across the country published headline articles about the giant. Scientists, religious experts, and the public hotly debated the origin of the figure. Later to be found a hoax. So here's a little bit of history. Hoax exposed. On December 1869, George Hull, a cigar manufacturer in Binghamton, New York, admitted that the Cardiff Giant was a giant hoax. No pun intended. Hull wanted to prove that the American people were gullible and would really believe that a petrified giant had been found. He also wanted to challenge a literal interpretation of the Bible that was supported by many. So basically after this, they used it as an exhibit, and they made money off of this hoax. It's the American way after all, folks. So here's the Cardiff Giant at the Farmers Museum, Cooperstown, New York.